the Feast of Tabernacles.
So family, all the nations, all the people of the earth belong to Yahuwah. All the people of the earth have to keep the Most High's commandments. This is the only way you can live on earth. No man, no woman living on earth should be living without his commandments. And this is one of the things the Most High gonna fix. Because when they're gonna be a family. They're gonna say, we ain't going. We don't know nothing. We just ain't going. Why are we going? When he hit them with plagues, it's gonna happen. He hit them with plagues, they're gonna know why they're getting hit with the plagues. They're gonna line up. They're gonna get in order. When they start going to the Feast of Tabernacles, they're gonna learn what it's about, and they're gonna want to go after that. But before that, they're gonna do like we say about the donkey. They're gonna buck.
This shall be the punishment of Mizraim, and the punishment for all the nations that do not come up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
This is going to be the punishment of them. They're going to be, Father, expect them to keep his word. He's the Father. Everybody here, we already know this. He's the Father of all of his creation. He's their Father, and he expects them to do what he say. And when they don't do it, there's a punishment. The wicked today, he's their creator. He should be their Father. But they don't want him to be Father, their Father.
All right, 10. We must therefore obey the whole law that Yahuwah commands us, saying, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a Kadash nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Yashar'al.
So what he's saying here, they have to therefore obey the whole Torah. Who does? Everybody have to obey the whole Torah. You gotta obey all of it.
But he has not dealt the same way with any other nation as he has with us. He did not choose for us any other reason than the great love that he has for us.
All right, so here comes the famous verse that the Kemps love to bring out. Psalm 147, 19 and 20, not understanding it. Go ahead, son.
He declares his word to Yaakov, his statutes and his judgments to Yashar'al. He has not dealt thus with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
All right, so the deepness of this, so that we can understand what's going on here, what the group's missing. He does not deal with other nations on the level. There isn't a Jerusalem in Asia. There isn't a Sion in the land of Ham. He's not dwelling in those lands, although he created it. That's not his dwelling place. That's why we saw his dwelling places, the first message. He's dwelling in these places. All these places are not Asia and the land of Ham, but definitely not the Western world. He's not dwelling there. His dwellings is in the dwelling of Shem. So he's dealing with Shem. Watch this. This is deep. I know somebody gonna miss this. He's dwelling with Shem because Shem's lot fell where Yahuwah dwells. His lot dwells where the dwelling of Shem dwells, not the others. He's not there. But you see, they got an opportunity to partake and come up and worship the king. When they go back to their homes, they can't do wickedness. Wickedness have been removed from the earth. Somebody ain't getting this. Wickedness was removed from the earth when they had to come up from year to year. So anyone doing wickedness will be cut off. Remember, at that time in Jerusalem, your sons and your daughters begin to prophesy. The parents, they got to put them to death. No one should be prophesying at that time. And here we go. Some people going to rise up to prophesy. Don't you see that happening? If not, we wouldn't be reading about it in the prophets. Rising up to prophesy. They are in their lands and they have to keep the Most High's commandments. They have to keep themselves from sexual immorality. They have to keep themselves from drinking blood. They have to refrain from eating pork. You guessed it. How else they going to stay? Because if they start eating pork, if they start eating blood again, they're going to start offering their kids. They're going to start going backwards and backwards. They have to stay in the clean and the Kadash, right along with Yashar'al. So he's not dealing with them that deep. He's not there. Why would he? When their fathers went off. Why would he dwell there when he was dwelling here in the land of Shem before there were the sons? He dwelt there first. That's why Noah prayed that his dwellings, that Shem's lot fall in the dwellings of Shem.
Like, messengers then returned to their king and told him everything that King Dude had told them. And Hiram rejoiced with all his heart and called all his princes and servants and said to them, Tyrians and Sidonians, listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. Have reverence and respect for El Shaddai.
What is he telling them? This is how other nations are supposed to treat the Most High today. Have respect for the Almighty. All is short for Almighty Shaddai.
Who is the mighty one of Yashar'al?
He's the mighty one of Yashar'al, distinguishing who he's the mighty one of. He's the mighty one of Yashar'al. What he's saying, Jerusalem is the center of attention. What he's saying, he's dealing with these people on a different level. He'll deal with us. He expects us to join his covenant, Isaiah 56. He expects us to keep the Shabbats. You see all that in Isaiah 56. And he does not turn away those of other nations that choose to cleave to his covenant. That's not who he is. He's not going to give them a chance. No.
He made everything by speaking and by the breath of his mouth.
All right, that's deep. Now this is deep. He made everything by speaking and by the breath of his mouth. When he speaks, breath comes out. When he created the first man, he had to breathe the breath of life in him. He's going to have to breathe the breath of life in us. We're still dead. Remember, we're just bones coming together. We can still rattle and make noise.
And who would tell him what he can do?
Listen at this man of another nation. Who gonna tell him what he can do? He tell us to come out. Well, he meant for us to come out this way. He meant for us to come out that. Who gonna tell him what he can do?
For he is one.
He is what?
One.
He is one. Yahuwah is one. We got to hear this. This is foundational, elementary level teaching here. And we have to get it. And it's like deep revelation for us because we're in stupor. He is one.
Repeat after me.
Repeat after me. He telling his people, repeat after me.
Barak is Yahuwah, mighty one of Yashar'al, who chooses his people, and Barak is Dude, his servant, king of his people, and Barak is Yashar'al, whom Yahuwah has chosen to be his inheritance.
Hold it, son. Hold it right here. Okay, all right. So understand what this king is doing. We've heard the prophets of Yashar'al, the mighty men of Yashar'al, they prayed for us. We just read Louis baraked us. There's a baraka that came to us from Louis. We don't even realize this stuff. We weren't born. Here are other nations baraking us. The Most High gave us a word on this. We don't know the word. Genesis 12:3. What'd that say?
I will barak those who barak you.
He's only going to barak Yashar'al when we barak Yashar'al. No. Other nations can have an opportunity to barak his people. And he said he will barak those that barak you.
And I will curse him who curses you.
And I'm going to curse him who curses you.
And in you all the families of the earth shall be baraked.
So you got to go through this covenant. There it is. All families in the earth have to go through this covenant. All families in the earth. This is a very unusual teaching, honestly, because you don't hear this. It's all about Yashar'al, and it is. But the other families in the earth left in the dark. You guys don't know him. He hadn't dealt with any other nation like he dealt with Yashar'al. He placed us above all people on the face of the earth. We are special chosen people when we haven't even taken the first step of coming out. The stipulation, obeying his word, his voice. We ain't taking the first step. We got the nerve to think he's already placed us above all nations. It's written right there. Not understanding the contextual understanding of what it's saying. At that point, he placed them above. Where we are now, We bones. I ain't afraid to say it. We are bones. We're bones that think we're more than what we are. That's what we are today.
Again, that's what Gaddis here is saying. How we will go from being a curse to a rock.
Yeah. Yep. Then we go from being a curse, we're cursed today, to being a baraka. We can't go to the baraka part until we're in his presence, where he is. There when this happens, until that point, we can't barak them. We looking for a baraka from them. That's why they had to plunder the Egyptians.
It's kind of sad when you think about it. The Most High wants to use us as an extension to get to other nations.
Yep.
But we're not even connected to them.
We're not connected to them. There it is. You got it. You got it. See, we supposed to be connecting to other nations. Since the sons of Noah went so far off, family, they went too far off. Yashar'al didn't go off that far. We still knew of him. Don't y'all know none of the sons of these nations be knowing the Most High like that? That's the problem.
I think we are at 17 now. We would be barak to simply be the servants of the children of Yashar'al, that are called the children of Yahuwah Galilee.
So he understands. They had to repeat this. He said, we will be barak to simply be servants of the children of Yashar'al. He had an understanding. You heard this in this class before. Who wouldn't want to be a servant of Yashar'al? Who wouldn't want to be a servant of Abraham? You'll be barak. I'm not going to be his servant. I'm not going to be Yashar'al's servant.
And all his princes and servants replied, "So be it, may it be so." And Kedon lifted up his voice and said, "I have seen, but not now. I have beheld, but not nigh. There shall step forth a sun from dew, and a moon shall rise out of the house of Yehudah, and shall smite all the children of Ham, and break down all the children of Japheth, and he will possess all the kingdoms of the world."
So he saw something. I have seen. Most High revealed something to him. And he explained it to him what he saw. I've seen. But not now. Meaning, this been some time ago. It's been years ago. The Most High showed him something years ago. Why do y'all think he want to be a brother with them? Why is he baracking them? The Father showed him something. You're going to be a huge component in my mission. Huge. He saw it. And it was a time ago. And one going to come forth from dew. Watch this. From the house of Yehudah and shall smite all the children of Ham. Look at that. Look at that. And break down all the children of Japheth. Now notice something here. We read about this stuff in Yashar'al with them actually doing it. Yeah, they actually did this.
And who is like Yahuwah, mighty one above all mighty ones? And who is like Yashar'al, a people above the nations? May our end be like theirs.
May our good gracious. This man, he knew. This king in my eyes, family, this king would be, how can I say this? Any mighty one would want to be under this king. He simply knew the Most High and he knew his people. He accepted his people. But look what he said. He had wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Without having a Torah, this stuff got passed down to him by word of mouth. The Most High revealed things to him. He latched on to it. Who is like Yahuwah? He saw some things with his very own eyes. He heard of the stories of dew. He heard words of the prophets before it came to pass. Then it came to pass. He lived in those days, in those times when he saw it. The mighty one above all mighty ones. Who is like Yashar'al, a people above the nations? Why? The Most High came down in their presence. He's dwelling with them, and he lifted them up above all the nations. Now all nations shall come. Out of Sion come forth the Torah. Remember, his house should be called a house of prayer for Yashar'al only. See, family, when we go over that stuff, we have to break it down this way so that you can understand what's being said. His house shall be called the house of prayer for all people, all nations. There it is again. May our end be like theirs, meaning